guys, welcome back to YouSeeKaylaTV, or if this is your first time, welcome to YouSeeKaylaTV. I'm reviewing All American on this video today. Well, All American Homecoming, which is the spinoff. And guys, we're all doing this together. We're building this up together. We're all on the ground floor together because it's a brand new show. I started with last week's episode and now we're going to do episode number 2. But before we get into the review, if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and remember to like, comment, and share the content if you appreciate it. I really take you guys' feedback into consideration because I don't want to review a show that nobody else cares about, okay? Okay, so let's just get into it. Episode number 2 of All American Homecoming was entitled Under Pressure, and I'm going to read the synopsis to you. Now, if you guys see me looking over, I have my notes up on my screen, so that's what I'm looking at. So the synopsis. Simone starts to crack but finds the motivation to keep going from a group assignment with Damon and Thea. Damon struggles to bond with the team, and Keisha wrestles with letting go of her dream. And that synopsis is spot on. If you're here, you guys, you should have already seen the episode. This is a review, okay? So, like I explained last time, with All American and All American Homecoming, I do a different style of review. If you guys are here because you've seen my sister's review, with sisters, I go scene by scene. All American and All American Homecoming, their writing is faster and it's more involved and it's a lot more going on than Sisters. No shade to Tyler Perry, so I can't go scene by scene. So what I do is I pick out those big moments and I'm doing it under the theme of the show. All American Homecoming is about an HBCU experience. So you'll hear me refer to different things, and that's just a title I've given it, staying under an HBCU theme, okay? It's not like an official thing. So that's just a UC Kayla thing. All right, so the pregame, or the topic that kicks off the episode. Simone starts the episode off. She's in line with Damon to choose her fall semester courses. And she even describes herself to Damon as alert, aware, and able to process her feelings. We're going to see how long that lasted. But Simone, like many freshmen, she felt like she had it all together because, you know, she had successfully moved into the dorm. Well, in her case, she had to move out of the dorm into her aunt's house, but and she had a few friends on campus. So, you know, you feel like you're on top of the world because you've accomplished those couple things. And then she's reading the classes on the preliminary schedule. She's like, I can do this. Of course, taking the class is harder than reading it off a schedule, but Simone doesn't know that yet. And she feels that she's ready to face the pressures, you know, of school, tennis, trying to find a job, and college life. And I'm not here to bash Simone for that. I'm glad she had that confidence, but it'll be revealed later in the episode that there's a little bit more to it than what she was expecting. Okay, so let's get to our tailgate topic. So Damon is under pressure trying to come together with his teammates because he still believes he's the only one who can save the team. Meanwhile, the team is making sure that he sees that there's a new kid on the block named Emmett Page, who's like the next big thing in baseball. And they make sure that he even sees the clip of the interview with Emmett Page where Emmett throws a little shade at Damon like, hey, if I ever get a chance at the MLB, I'm not going to pass up on it. So that definitely adds to the pressure that Damon's feeling. Let's get into our rival teams. Definitely Thea. It seems like it's always going to be Thea. So Thea's not only the tennis coach captain who has it out for Simone, but now she's revealed as the reigning queen of the court, which is a thing on the tennis team, and Simone's literature class group partner. So Simone was really in the thick of it this episode with Thea. She definitely proved to be an opponent on this episode, but at least she gave some props to Simone at the end of the episode of being a worthy queen of the court opponent. And we'll get into that a little bit later. In the second rival team, President Allen, he's off of my rival list because he helped Simone with her panic attack. He also gave her the clearance and a physical so she could participate in Queen of the Court to make the team. Then we find out that he's Keisha's father. Keisha's Simone's friend. So I'm pretty sure he's not going to be a rival for the cast. But as an honorable mention, I did want to include how Dr. Amar Patterson, who is Simone's aunt, made it clear that she's not feeling him because he's trying to be both good cop and bad cop, okay? All right, so let's get to the halftime show. So Damon and Simone, they both get in gear and realize that college is going to be a little harder than they thought. They also come to the realization that collegiate level sports are the big leagues, you know, and they're going to have to earn the respect of their teammates and their coaches and stop relying on their high school accolades for credibility. They work together well as, you know, fellow student athletes, and Damon took someone on the field and they both worked on their sports together. Damon was able to put his romantic interest in Simone on the back burner in order to be a good friend to her. So I applaud him for that. Sorry, guys, I'm a little... Okay, so let's get to the post-game turn-up. Cam gets a concussion from a pickup basketball game during that unauthorized party that Thea threw at her house, which is how we found out that President Allen was her father. And then we saw in the episode him and Thea hooked up earlier. And even though they told Simone that they're not a thing, we can see the chemistry between the two and that Thea really cares for Cam. Thea's the one who found Cam unresponsive in his dorm room and was able to get him an ambulance. And she also advocated for the care that he needs and that he probably had a concussion. Because Thea's pre-med. So it was good that she was the one who found Cam. Although she was there for Cam, Cam wasn't able to see past his own anger and finding out that he'd never be able to play football again, to just send her a text and like, hey, I'm back. I don't want to talk, or call her or whatever. So in my opinion, and this is my opinion of the whole episode, guys. So I felt really bad for Simone this episode. I just felt like if it wasn't one thing, it was another. I'm like, I can see why this episode was called Under Pressure, honey, because the pressure was on for Simone. But I knew she'd be strong enough to pull through, and she did. I mean, if you can have a baby in high school and give it up for adoption and still find a reason to keep pushing it and, you know, not fall under the depression of having to go through all that, you know Simone is a strong person. And I'm glad that she made the tennis team. I'm glad that she did well. Not only did she do well on her literature project, but her literature professor gave her a job. So it's like she got everything that she needed, and she really earned it. I'm glad that Damon finally got it through his thick skull that, you know, the sun does not rise and set on him, and that his teammates are just as important as he is. And I'm glad he finally understood what Coach Turner was trying to get across to him. As for Jay, we saw him at the beginning of the episode. He had his phone and he was still staring at that little baby picture, and the baby picture looks like Damon, but we never addressed it. So I'm sure that's going to come up again later. I'm glad that Thea found it in her heart to give, you know, Simone some props for their Queen of the Court face-off. Even though Simone lost, she did make the team. However, Thea owes Simone some props for that class project because it was a group effort. And even though Thea thought that she did everything, Simone's extra touches really, you know, influenced the professor's decision on not only giving Simone a job, but I'm sure they got a better grade because of what Simone said as well. So she owed her some props for that too. I didn't forget about that, but she never did it. I felt bad for Cam, like finding out you have a brain aneurysm. Like, that's really scary. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete or not. So on top of his health not being good right now, there's also the fact that he can no longer play football, which is what he's there at Brinkston to do. So I'm sure Cam is devastated. I'm not mad at him for how he handled Thea, because I'm sure he'll, once he can get himself, you know, sorted out and get himself together, that they'll talk. But that's some heavy stuff. I feel like Thea just needs to talk to her dad. I mean, she made a promise to her mom when she was 9. If she can reconcile in her heart and mind that that's no longer what she wants to do, and she really loves dance, obviously her father understands how important her late mother is to her. So if it's that important to break that promise, I'm not sure if it's going to be as big of a deal as Thea is making this out to be. But sometimes it can be scary to talk to your parents because you're afraid of what they have to say. But Cam was kind of right in what he said to Thea, like, this is within your reach. You're just too scared to do anything about it. So we'll see what happens with that. And like I said last time, I think there's something brewing between Coach Turner and Dr. Patterson. So we'll see how that goes. And I'd be here for it because they're both nice people. And I think that morally they're on the same compass and that they would do well for each other. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, So I don't have a really long review for this, guys. In the comments, you can let me know if you're still interested in All American. Did you enjoy the episode? I did. I thought it was cool. I actually like the spinoff. Like I said last time, I did not have super high hopes for the spinoff. I definitely wasn't there for the name at first. So it's really growing on me, and I'm enjoying watching the show as much as I enjoy watching All American. So kudos to the writers of All American Homecoming. I'm not sure if it's the same team, but kudos to y'all, because I don't feel like, I'm missing on anything, and it's just as intriguing as the other show to me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please remember to subscribe, comment, like, share. Thank you for your time, and thank you for joining me at YouSeeKaylaTV. We'll be back next week with another episode review on All American Homecoming. Thanks, guys. Have a good week.